What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and also the Patreon family. We working. Now I'm back with my original segment, Boxingego's First Look, a tell of the tape series where I give you guys a sneak peek, a preview of the fight before the fight. Now, this Saturday, December 16th, at the Place Bell in Quebec, Canada, we have a great card, a great lineup on HBO World Championship Boxing. And that's Billy Joe Saunders, WBO champion, versus former IBF champion, David Lemieux. And this should be a good fight. Scheduled for 12 rounds or less. We know David Lemieux has immense power. Billy Joe Saunders has respectable power. Also a very crafty, good boxer. Been in there with guys like Andy Lee. He's the only one that has beat Chris Eubank Jr., who we now see in a higher division at super middleweight. And I'm really looking forward to this. This is the WBO fight. Also, just so you guys know, on the undercard, my dude, shout out to my guy from Victorville, King Ryan Garcia. Make sure you check out his performance. He's an up-and-comer, undefeated. He's been in the ring and sparred and been in there with top guys. As an amateur, he fought Devin Haney 5 times, I believe, and he beat him 3 of the 5 times. So definitely someone to watch. He's 12-0, 11 KOs, action-packed style, a lot of speed. Also, they have Antoine Douglas, whose sole loss was to Aventel Curtice. So he's going to be in a middleweight fight with O'Sullivan. I'm looking forward to that. Just the more the merrier. So they're calling this Middleweight Madness. This is a great way to close the year. Again, it'll be on HBO if you have HBO package on your cable. And the main event I'm really excited for. I wish it was promoted a little bit heavier. So that's what I'm trying to do this video on it, the first look. I haven't heard too much commotion, but as a fight, I think it should deliver. Very good. You have like really a puncher versus more of a boxer puncher in Billy Joe Saunders. So I think it's a good conflict and clash of styles. Both guys have got at each other on social media, said their barbs at each other. I remember reading David Lemieux on his social media. He says, "I can't wait to fight you. I'm going to put you in the hospital. And like, you're going to get it." And Billy Joe Saunders is standing his ground. He said his piece. So there's some inherent bad blood. I seen they had a press conference. They look very comparable in terms of size. Neither guy looks scared or anything like that. And this is a good fight. Another reason I like this fight is because middleweight division is now, for the first time in a few years, the middleweight division is starting to stack up. You got Jermall Charlo, who's on the PBC side. He's been looking good. He's rated #1 mandatory contender with the WBC. His first fight, he knocked out Jorge Sebastian Hyland, who was longtime Triple G mandatory. They never got around to having that fight, so they did like a little eliminator. Charlo knocked him out. Then you have Daniel Jacobs. He fought Gennady Golovkin in March of this year, and later he came back after a decent-sized 9-month layoff or so, and Daniel Jacobs outclassed and totally dominated an undefeated former Mayweather Promotions fighter, Luis Cuba Arias. So he's still in the picture. And obviously we have Canelo and we have Gennady Golovkin. They fought earlier in September. Close fight, depending on whoever you scored it for. Some people had Triple G, some people had Canelo winning. It was a good fight. I was there live. I covered the fight as media. And the negotiations, they both have said, and their teams have said, they want to make the fight. But they kind of took a break from the negotiations the whole month of November. I really think Golden Boy, who is in charge of the career of Canelo Alvarez and in charge of the career of David Lemieux, along with Eye of the Tiger management, I think they're holding off negotiations just to see what happens in this particular fight, Billy Joe Saunders versus David Lemieux. And this is a possible plan B or a possible option for Canelo to face the winner of this. But I think it really just depends on how Saunders and Lemieux look. Like if one guy looks exceptional, especially if it's the Golden Boy fighter that looks exceptional, David Lemieux, I think it's easier to make because they're both with the same company. Canelo and David Lemieux are both with Golden Boy, whereas Saunders is with Frank Warren. But I think the negotiations have stalled for the Canelo Triple G rematch just to keep an eye on this to see if they want to go a different route, or in case, let's say in the rematch, money becomes an issue with Canelo or Triple G, then they can say, hey, you know what? we don't like this deal, you don't like this deal, so we're gonna fight this option. To me, the Canelo Triple G, there was a rematch clause, but it was only for Canelo, the way I understand it. So if Canelo were to have lost, then he had the opportunity to enforce a mandatory rematch clause, but Golovkin didn't have that, and it was a draw. So they're gonna have to agree and negotiate to make the rematch, which they both said they want. But I think they're holding out hope for this particular fight with Billy Joe Saunders and David Lemieux. Again, this is a current champion, WBO champion, Billy Joe Saunders, versus a former IBF champion. Great clash of styles. David Lemieux has cracks. He's definitely hitting hard. And since he lost to Golovkin, because he has faced Gennady Golovkin, since he lost his belt to Golovkin, who has all of the belts except for this particular belt, that's why this is a good fight, and you guys got to tune in and you got to watch it. Because if Triple G tries to come for this person, I mean, he has all the belts except for whoever wins this particular fight and whoever holds that title. Triple G did, as I just mentioned, beat David Lemieux before. He already beat him. However, since that point, David Lemieux has had some impressive victories. He beat Glenn Tapia by stoppage. He has one of the knockouts of the year, in my opinion, this year versus Curtis Stevens. And he's also fought a couple other people in between that just to kind of stay busy. Marco Reyes and also Christian Fabian Rios, and just some other stay busy fights. So he's been pretty active. Now he's back in the picture for a title shot, and he's challenging for a title again. I'm looking forward to it. Billy Joe Saunders, he's no stranger. He's not shy of his words. Neither is David Lemieux. A great stylistic matchup, as I mentioned. Now let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Now, Billy Joe Saunders has an undefeated perfect record of 25-0. David Lemieux, he has had some early career setbacks, and his latest loss was against Gennady Golovkin, but he has a record of 38-3. Now, the great thing about doing these Boxing Ego First Look, the tail of the tape, for you, the fans, is as I'm comprising them, putting all the stats together, you notice the matches that we know are going to be good, or we feel in our souls and our hearts are going to be good. I noticed all the stats line up where it's very close, very even the stat-wise. Both fighters are the same age 28, Billy Joe Saunders and David Lemieux. Now, Billy Joe Saunders, the boxer, more of the boxer, he is the taller fighter. He's listed at 5 foot 11 inches tall. David Lemieux, he has more of a compact, squatty shape, but he generates a lot of power, and he's been fighting very aggressive, especially since the Triple G loss. He is listed at 5 foot 9.5 inches. This is a world championship fight for the WBO belt held by Billy Joe Saunders. It will take place at the middleweight division, so 160 pounds. Billy Joe Saunders, the taller fighter, has a slight reach advantage. He has a reach advantage of 1 inch, 71 inches to David Lemieux's 70 inches. Now, shout out to Golden Boy, Eye of the Tiger Management, and also Frank Warren and HBO. It's about to go down. Middleweight Mayhem. I'm looking forward to this in Canada. It will be on HBO. This is a good fight. It's a meaningful fight. Help us close in a phenomenal 2017 year. And we get to see who will win. There's some banter, some trash talk, and this will be a meaningful win for either guy because both guys have looked pretty good in their last couple of fights. Billy Joe Saunders had a fight where he didn't look that great against a guy that was nicknamed Wolverine, but since then he beat Willie Monroe Jr., who's a slick fighter, and that was a good win for him. Now if he could beat David Lemieux, I think that'll be a very good win for him because we all know the inherent dangers of a puncher like David Lemieux, especially someone who's fighting. I give Billy Joe Saunders a lot of props because Billy Joe Saunders is a gypsy from the UK, gypsy traveler, and he's doing just that. He's traveling to David Lemieux's backyard as champion. So you got to give, it reminds me of Amir Khan when he fought Lamont Peterson in DC. That's Lamont Peterson's home. Amir Khan's from the UK. So shout out to the champions that do this, because a lot of times people want any kind of strategic advantage, whether it's a weight advantage, if it's a home court advantage with the crowd, people want it, you know what I'm saying? And Billy Joe Saunders as champion, I don't know how much they're paying him, but it was good enough for him to concede and actually go to his opponent's backyard, David Lemieux. So he's fighting in Canada. So David Lemieux, he's going to look to impress not make any mistakes in front of his hometown crowd, and it should be a good one. Middleweight fight. I know Canelo Alvarez, Triple G, Golden Boy, they'll probably be paying attention. And like I said before, the middleweight division has some players. You got Demetrius Andrade. Boo Boo Andrade recently moved up. He already has a win at middleweight. You have these two, Billy Joe Saunders, David Lemieux, of course, Canelo, Triple G, Jamal Charlo. You still have Daniel Jacobs and some more people. Again, on the undercard, you have Antoine Douglas, guys who are looking to maybe challenge in a few fights or so. Let me know what you guys think. That is the latest Boxingego first look. Tail of the tape, Billy Joe Saunders versus David Lemieux. Who will win? Break down the fight in the comment section. Let me know not only who wins, how they win. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.